Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. And we are here today to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I think the name of it is Montego Bays, Baes. If you are new to the channel, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for subscribing. I also appreciate everyone that's been here. Anyone that watches, thank you so much. If you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing, like, comment. Let's talk about some shit. See, just cursing for no reason. All right, let's get to it. All right, y'all. So we start off with Sonya in the lobby. She's waiting for the girls to come down. Sheree is first, and Sheree got on her little workout outfit. And of course, we all know that Sheree, her body be banging. But y'all can't tell me that Sonya don't like the girls because I'm telling you, I have never seen another girl or woman tell another woman, turn around, let me see you. That is a man's line. Like it really, let me look at you, let me look at you. And then when she turned around, she hit on a button. Was like, that's what I want to see right there. I'm like, dang, Sonya, you not even trying to hide it? No? Y'all can't tell me she don't like the girl them. All right, all right. Was that offensive? No, I could do that if I want to. Okay, and then we also have Candy in the room with Todd talking about Marlo, and she is done. She says she has had different arguments with Marlo before, but this one took the cake. Like, there's no coming back from this one. And then we see a flashback of Marlo being like, hey, the guy that you got with on production, does he have a job? What are you talking about? Todd had a job when they met. He was in production. Like, what is she talking about? All right, so while everybody is showing up, we learned that they talked on the bus about having a race and going to Sonya's, her little track or whatever, and where she first ran or something, I think she said. And who's going to race? It's going to be Drew and it's going to be Marlo. Then we go up in Marlo's room where she's getting ready. The rooms are really nice. And she's telling her plus one, you ain't even got to come. I got a bottle of Henny coming for you, bro. And I'm like, what? You brought him all the way here just to sit in the room and drink? Like, seriously, he can't even go? Unreal. But so all the rest of them are getting down there, and Sonya ends up giving Drew a certified United States Olympian outfit. And of course, Drew is, listen, it's hard for me to go back and forth with them because I don't like either one of them. So I don't want to be like Drew was ungrateful, being like, okay, Sonya, we know that you were in the Olympics. And I'm like, Drew, what'd you do? The game? What else did you do? But I also feel like, okay, Sonya, we know. So it's hard for me because I don't like either one of them. Yeah, so as as Sonya is giving her this, she got to give a speech to every. Okay, y'all, everybody, I'm about to give her this, and this does not come easy. Normally, you have to earn this, and you said you were a track star in quotations, and I'm just like, why are you shading her and giving her stuff, but still shading? Like, they don't like each other, y'all. Let's just listen. But anyway, and Drew is just like, I was an Olympian. I was an Olympian. So I guess the school, like their mascot or whatever, Olympian, but that's what was on her shirt. Ma'am, you were not an Olympian. So they're both annoying. So they all get on the bus, and Marlo has to start off with her apologies. Of course, Marlo is just like Dr. Heavenly, where they will continuously fuck up, continuously, and then just be like, I'll just issue an apology tomorrow. It's okay. And then I'll do the same thing again the next day because the apology is worth crap. Like it really is. So she's apologizing to, what is his name? Drew's husband. Yeah, I can never remember. Well, I can never remember names, but I just don't remember his name. She's apologizing to him. He's just kind of shaking his head, yeah, whatever, because who cares? And then she says that Drew is her therapist because apparently Drew came back to the room and was talking to her. And okay, it's fine. We know that Drew, she don't care that much. Like she couldn't possibly care that much. So she gives her a hug. Okay, I'm your therapist. She then apologizes to Sanya, And the producers asked Candy, "Do you think she should have apologized to you?" And she's like, "I don't care who she apologizes to. I don't want to hear her. I don't want to see her. I don't want to sit next to her. Like, I don't care what she's talking about. I wish I didn't have to ride with her." And I'm like, yeah, at this point, it's been way too many years. Like, Candy sees the fact that this is just what she does. Like, this is the norm for Marlo, and I'm glad she's done fooling with her. I'm so glad. All right, so now we figure out who are we waiting for. We're still waiting for Kenya. And Candy says, "Listen, I don't know if she's going to make it. She is just kind of upset that no one checked on her, and apparently she hasn't eaten. She said she didn't eat last night. I don't know why she didn't eat last night. Maybe it was just too much going on, but I feel like everybody else was going to get their food on. And is there no like room service or whatever at this place? I don't know, but she didn't eat last night." And then Sheree was like, "Well, she was at breakfast with me, so she did eat." And she's like, "Well, maybe it was just her little boo thing. Maybe he came back to the room with her." So Sonya calls and she's like, "We trying to leave in 5 minutes." And Kenya's like, "Okay, I'll try to make it." So they wait and they wait, and then we see Kenya up in the room just like taking her time, and production even put under there, Kenya's taking her time, and she's just like opening the curtains, getting the air, going out on the balcony, taking pictures, and that's just rude. Now I just feel like, y'all know I've been riding for Kenya this season, especially because she hasn't been very problematic. But I do feel like if you are going to be late, or you're not gonna make it, or you're gonna be like 2 hours late, because she ended up being 2 hours late, just so you know. She made it. She took her own transportation there, but she ended up being 2 hours late. But if you know that you are not feeling like going right now, or you're not gonna make it, just let these people go. Like, what are you doing? So she's doing all that. They're waiting. They're waiting. Sonya ends up calling her back, and she's like, "Listen, we don't have to go." And Kenya's like, "Oh, okay, well, do you like, do what you have to do?" Because she didn't care. And I'm like, "You could have told them that in the first place, Kenya." So again, they end up leaving. She ends up coming and meeting them there. She was still 2 hours late. Kenya was a little wrong on that one, but since I don't like Sonya, it's like, it's fine. I'll allow it. All right, so they on a bus on a bus. They on the bus on their way, and Marlo is talking about how she can't go. She would love to go. She can't go, and they're like, "Yeah, once you get to running, you'll then get like the bubble guts." And I'm like, is she really talking about this on the bus with people's men and everything? Like, it's not even something that I want to know as your friend. Like, I don't care about you going. Listen, eat some prunes or something like that. Like, I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Then we go to Sonya's old stomping ground where she grew up. And her auntie Sharon, who's not really her auntie, but her mom's good friend. Okay, we get it. She was there, and um, pretty lady. She had the short blonde or whatever, and yeah, she was a cute lady. But it was cute. I just would not be able to deal with Sonya, and because I don't care enough. Like, I would have been so irritated on this trip. Like, oh my gosh, she's like, "This is where I grew up, and that was my house over there, number 37." She's so fucking annoying. Like, I just wouldn't be able to deal with her, and I would just be like, "You know what? I'm gonna stay on the bus. All right, give Auntie Sharon my love." Okay, so before we go to the track, we go to a place called Devon House, and it's an ice cream shop. It's a venue where you can rent out or whatever and get married and certain things, because Sonya's parents got married there. Oh, it irritates me so much when she's giving these speeches. I just got to get over it. But it's like, "You guys, and this is a black owned, and my parents got married here, and the best ice cream." And, so we saw them eating the ice cream. Nobody said, "Oh my God, this shit is so great." They didn't. Nobody said that. But anyway, um, so we have the different groups, excuse me, talking about what happened last night. And you know, Sheree is just like, "Listen, I feel like your passion just, becomes a little," and then Marlo's like aggressive, and she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, what? Sheree is kind of speaking up a little bit. But then Marlo went on a tangent about why is Candy concerned? Why is she saying anything? And of course, Sheree don't do nothing but sit there and bob her head. So she tried. She tried to let her know, girl, you was doing a lot, but she couldn't really get her shit off. And then we have Candy talking to no, this is not Cherie. This is not Beverly Hills. Manetta. She's talking to Manetta, her husband, and she's just like, listen, she was coming for Ralph. Ah, that's his name. She was coming for Ralph, and I just felt like you coming for his parenting when you basically doing the same thing. Get off him and fix yourself first or whatever. And then she's like, I was really irritated when you was coming for my husband. And I'm like, yeah, of course. You guys, I be watching reviewers, and a lot of people are not feeling Manetta, or they don't feel like she's bringing anything to the show, and she kind of isn't. Just like a lot of people not really feeling Cherie on Beverly Hills. They're just not bringing anything. But I mean, maybe Manetta will say something next year. If she's a full cast member, what do y'all think? Should she be a full-time cast member? If she is, I mean, it's a lot of drama going on right now with Neo. So maybe she'll talk about it. Maybe she'll talk about how their relationship is now. Or maybe she'll be like, girl, that's what you get to the new wife. Because was she cheating with him and took, I don't know. I don't know. But I just feel like maybe she'll come with a little more if she's an actual cast member. What y'all think? So anyway, Kenya's there. She gets her ice cream, and Marlo sees her. She's always pressed, so she's always looking. You guys, so then, stinking ass Sonya have to take Kenya to the side and talk to her. Like, I need to talk to you, I need to talk to you, let's sit down. So they sit down and they talk, and Sonya's just like, I just wonder why you can't show up for me, and why were you late, and why can't you be on time? Bitch, who are you? Like, I'm a grown woman. What are you talking about? I am here. And yeah, production showed that she was like an hour late last night for for dinner, 2 hours late today, but she's still there. And I just feel like Sonya is just very micromanaging. Like, girl, these are grown people. She's there. So why does she have to answer to you? It's so annoying. So annoying. So Kenya starts talking about how she had a conversation with Brooklyn. And I was like, oh, a whole conversation about, she doesn't want to talk to her dad. It's been 2 weeks. She don't want to talk to her dad. And I'm like, yeah, because fuck Mark. Like, really? I'm just kidding for the baby. Like, the baby could like her dad. But apparently she ain't got no love for him. He's not trying to come to Atlanta. So Brooklyn is probably seeing that at her young age. I don't know. Or maybe she was just called to the phone and was like, nah, I'm busy playing. I don't know. Maybe Kenya's putting 20 on 10. Shout out to Rock. But, excuse me. I don't know. So she starts crying, and excuse me. And then Kenya is just, Sonya is just like, every time I talk to Kenya, she goes to the husband thing or whatever. And I'm just like, so if that's what she's identifying with at the time, because then we get a flashback of her saying, listen, what you did to me was kind of like what my husband used to do, and I'm just not having it anymore. If that's her life and that's what she's identifying with right now, oh well, Sonya, who cares? And it's funny that you can see how Kenya uses that every single time, which she does. I'll give her that. She does. But you can't see how Marlo uses her shit every time. Like, you don't see that Marlo uses, oh my God, I'm so traumatized. Oh my God, it triggered me. Oh my God, I was a foster kid. And even though I'm like 57 now, I'm still traumatized from being a foster kid. Girl, and all of that is just because you are up Marlo's ass. Because you would see that the same way you see about Kenya if you weren't up her butt. So I don't care that Kenya keeps using her ex as an excuse or whatever. Do it, because Marlo is definitely doing it. Y'all, so then we get on the bus, or we're getting on the bus, and Marlo and Candy's on the bus, and Marlo's like, oh, Simon just bought Portia something. God, I can't remember the car. And she's like, a Rolls Royce, something like that. And she's like, did you see that, Candy? Candy, did you see that? Candy is ignoring the entire crap out of her. And she's like, oh, Candy, you mad? You ain't talking to me? I ain't been talking to you all day. Oh, grow up. You that mad? Yeah. And so they started going back and forth. Oh, you need to grow up. Bitch, you stop talking to me. Stop talking. And then Kenya's just like, why are you even giving her this energy? Like, seriously. And I feel the same way. You were doing great just ignoring her. Don't say a word and let her just fester and let it just she would just hate being completely and totally ignored. She should have just ignored her. Oh, but Marlo did say, "Oh, you mad about last night? Sorry if you mad about. Keep your sorry." And my whole thing is, again, she will offer up an apology. It does not matter to her. Y'all want to hear those two words so bad on reality TV. Tell me you're sorry. Give me an apology. That don't mean shit really, and that's why she can say it so freely. Oh, you mad? I'm sorry. Yeah, keep your sorry. But she's it just kills me how she is able to say some of the most foul stuff to people and then feel like the next day nothing happened. Who do you think you are? Yeah, I can't deal with Marlo, and I promise you, if she is on next season, because she is really, everybody's like, oh, she's bringing it. She, knows the assignment. Well, I won't say everybody. A lot of people are over her. But some people just like, well, what would we be talking about if it wasn't Marlo? And that's true. And I feel like she could still stir the pot without going below the belt and being so freaking annoying. Like she is just so annoying. Y'all, now it's about to hurt my heart. I swear it is to give Sonya a compliment, but they make it to the track and she's explaining that she used to run however many meters. She used to run one full time around the track in 48 seconds, you guys. Do y'all even understand how fast that is? 48 seconds. Like, oh my God, that is something to be proud of. It really is. So, she makes me crazy, but that shit's great. Y'all, so they getting ready to race, and the girls are talking about who they betting on because they placing bets. And Candy says, clearly, I'm never betting on Marlo. She's like, it could be the whore race, and she would win. I still wouldn't bet on her. Y'all, I died. So the girls go in the back to get dressed, and it's so funny. I forgot to say that earlier. Marlo was trying to get out of it. She's like, yeah, I got on these shoes. I can't run in these shoes. And Sonya's like, yeah, I brought some shoes. Yeah, there's some shoes. She's like, damn, what I talk myself into? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead and race. And it looks like Marlo was clearly dressed in, I don't know what it was. Like, y'all, her body didn't look good. I'm sorry. Looked like she had a butt job that just didn't work out well or something. I'm not talking about the cellulite on her thighs or whatever. That's regular. It's fine. However, her body just didn't look good. And as she was running, her boobs fell out. And I'm just like, girl, you are right in front of men. And what are you doing? But the outfit that she had on was not for her to really be running in. So she was just inappropriate all around. All right, I'm sorry. I had to just say that as Sonya is introducing them, because of course she has to do an introduction. Of course she has to give a speech and talk to the people. So fucking sick of Sonya. But she's saying that what's her name? Drew is representing Chicago. No, ma'am, Pam, she is not. Drew is not representing Chicago, you guys, ever. Okay? So we denounce that. She is never representing us. And it's so funny when Marlo came out and clearly what's like underwear or something. It just looked a mess. No, it's not underwear. It was just like, I don't know. It wasn't, I don't know. It just didn't look good. But Sonya's husband was laughing and he's like, Marlo ain't playing. And I'm like, yeah, she's not playing because she's clearly running in stuff that's not for her to run in, like just a too little sports bra and some panties. All right, so we have the race, and clearly Marlo won with her big feet. She won just by a hair, but she won. And then as they're saying Marlo won, Drew was like, I won, I won. So she turns around and she starts running and falls and hurts herself. And I'm just like, dumbass. Like, of course, Drew would be the only person that's such a goof troop that she would hurt herself while not even racing. The whole time, don't lie, y'all know we thought she hurt herself during the race. No, this fool just was still running after the race, just being stupid. And first of all, if you just had on a boot like last year, you messed up your Achilles or whatever. Why are you running like she's just a dummy? That's not nice, but she is, you guys. So anyway, she ends up being hurt or whatever. She's on the ground. Everybody's seeing about her. Sonya's over there trying to see about her with the other people. And then as soon as the minister or whatever comes, minister of sports or whatever she is, Sonya's like, oh my God, the minister's here. And she said it like, and she's walking away and she said it like, Drew, get your ass up. And it's like, okay, she can't get up. But Sonya has no empathy for anyone. Like she's so so she walks over to the lady or whatever, and the lady's just like, hey, and yo, what's wrong with her? And she tells that, she hurt herself. So the lady's like, can I go over? She had way more empathy for Drew than Sonya did. And I'm just like, girl, she couldn't be my friend. She just really couldn't. So anyway, the lady's like, I'm gonna get you to the best doctors or whatever, which was very, very nice, even though it looked like she just went to a regular ER. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she did. But she ended up, tearing her Achilles or whatever. I don't know if it was the same one or a different one. I don't care. I don't care, you guys. So yeah, so that's that. Drew is an idiot. All right, so on the way home, we find out on the bus that, Sonya is going to do her iFit commercial, whatever, and they have to be there. They're leaving at 9:30. She's like, Kenya, I know you wanted to come. Marlo, I think she said Marlo. Somebody else wanted to come or whatever, or Sheree. And she's like, be in the lobby, or she didn't really say be in the lobby. She just said, we're leaving at 9:30. Everybody else is going on a catamaran at noon. And I was thinking, great, they could sleep in until noon or almost noon. All right, y'all. We just gonna bypass this really quickly, okay? So, they end up going to the iFit thing or whatever. Marlo got on the bus. She made it there. She's like, I don't know where Kenya and Sheree are, but I don't care. Kenya and Sheree are meeting up at the pool or somewhere in the lobby, like later on, and they're saying how they got left. Sheree's like, yeah, I feel like we got uninvited, disinvited, or whatever. So they're not happy that they were left, basically. And at the shoot, her husband is messing up a lot, messing up. And when he finally gets it, Marlo is in the background, like, yeah, like, and so she messes up. So they end up being done with that, basically. And they're talking about, how Kenya and Sheree didn't make it. Okay, we're gonna go past that. Then we have the rest of the people getting on the catamaran or whatever. And where was Todd and Candy? They were nowhere. They were actually nowhere because the people that got on the catamaran was um, Michelle, Sheree, Kenya. Uh, what's her name? The friend, y'all. The friend. What's her name? And her husband. Neo's ex. I don't know why her name is escaping me right now, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Damn it, what's her name? I'm gonna have to go and edit this out. Her name is Manetta. Manetta. Um, so they're all on the catamaran, and I'm sorry if it were not for Kenya. If it were not for Kenya, this would have been a complete snooze fest. So Kenya being in full effect, and she's making it fun, and she's giving announcements, acting like she's Sonya because Sonya loves announcements. And Sheree is talking about she's having she didn't want to say a fashion show, so she said it's just an event because she don't know if she really gonna have fashions. And Kenya's like, well, I can walk. And so she's walking and she's twerking and Manetta's twerking. And Sheree is just like, listen, it's not that type of show. And I'm like, girl, it's not any kind of show, actually, right? Oh, the other thing that was happening was Candy. Oh, that's where she was. She was practicing her lines or whatever. She practiced with Drew because, of course, we know Drew is laid up. And she goes in, and Drew is like, this is the technique that I learned. And do you do this? And do you do the four senses? And this and that. And Candy is just looking at her like, bitch, just say the lines. Like, really? She was drooling all over the place, I swear. All right, y'all. So I'm really ready to wrap it up. So they're getting ready for dinner, and y'all, I hate what Sonya has on. This little pink number, and she is really like she is ripping the runway. She is really trying to hit this walk. And I'm like, girl, ma'am, no ma'am. I don't like what you have on. I don't like it at all. So Marlo, I don't like what Marlo has on either. Sheree comes out and she tells Sonya that she's mad at her. And she tells her how she feels like she didn't, invite her or whatever. Sonya lies and said that she lost her phone. Then later on in the at dinner, she's gonna say she just didn't have her phone. But she's so worried about Sheree being mad at her. She's like, don't be mad at me. And she's like really explaining herself and everything to Sheree. And then I can't remember who, but somebody said, well, Kenya's going to be mad too. I think it was Marlo. Kenya going to be talking shit at the table. She going to be mad. And she's like, oh, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. And I'm like, I can't stand Sonya, y'all. I can't stand her. And I can't wait for Kenya to eat her ass up at the reunion. She has to. I feel like once she see all this stuff, she's gonna eat this girl up because they don't like each other. Like Kenya not feeling her either. So let's have it, Kenya. Let's go. Stop playing Miss Nice Girl and get back to the whole team twirl thing and eat her ass up at the reunion. So we get to the table. I'm trying to remember what happened at the table. Kenya's talking about them leaving and she's like, oh, you expected me to call you guys while I'm working? Yeah, I actually did expect you to call us. And then Sheree chimes in too, like, yeah, it felt like you disinvited us and this and that or whatever. So as they're both talking to her, Marlo is just like, one at a time. And Kenya's like, we can talk to her when we want to. And that's when her husband stood up and was just like, hey, don't mess with my wife. Y'all, and I wanted somebody so bad to just be like, sit your $5 ass down before I make change. I was so like, somebody please tell him to sit his ass down. Because what are you talking about? Sit down. And I can't believe they actually left it there. Like, that was the one thing we was waiting on. And we was waiting to see what was going to happen after that. I just want somebody to be like, dude, sit down. Because I just feel like this. Sonya is full of crap, and Sonya can talk a lot of crap. So she should be able to take it too. I'm sorry. You own Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is where it goes down. So if you can't take two people coming at you, when you listen, that's your problem, and you should not return. You and your husband need to run off into the sunset. How about that? Anyway, that's it, you guys. That was it for the episode. And I will see you guys. Oh, no, I have to say, if you are still here right now, you are the real MVP. If you have not already, please consider liking the video, comment, and subscribe. Tell me how y'all liked it. Tell me, what's going on. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Let's have the open dialogue. And I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.